Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, wherever you are in the world, and welcome back to a long-awaited spiritual time with the beautiful Gladys Sellar, who's still with us, and myself, who's still with us.
Oh, Kerry, it's so good to see you.
I know, it's good to be back.
Absolutely radiant, absolutely gorgeous.
Thank you.
You don't, but you are. Because there was a time that I was really worried about you, and you know that.
Yeah, I think I was also really worried about myself. Let's be honest. Like, come on. But I'm here. I survived it. I got through it. And I'm back.
Yes.
I'm back. Slowly now. Slowly.
Yes, yes. You've got to cut things back now. You've got to listen more to your body.
No. But we're here, and we're good. We're all good.
Yes, you're all good.
Dennis,
I tell you something, I've missed you. You didn't realise how for as long as we've worked together, when I've been dealing myself, it's kind of, what am I going to speak about? I've never got chatting back in me. And dogs are much help here, you see.
I can imagine it would be difficult because, like, when I do some recordings myself, I don't know, and I feel like I'm just waffling.
Well, that's what I was feeling. Like that one with Remembrance, you said it was all right. You really enjoyed it. I felt, I didn't care if I just emotional because it was Remembrance, but yeah, I didn't feel as if I did myself justice. And I cannot maybe sound stupid, but hey-ho.
The way I see it, right, is that, yes, you're a psychic medium. Yes, you know, you talk about spiritual stuff as well. But sometimes it's just nice just to take a break from that and just talk about sentimental things.
Oh, why?
Of value. And yes, like, hold on, I'm just burning my incense here. People's beliefs are different and their knowledge base is different. And sometimes just a different perspective of things is just nice. It just takes that little bit of, it's like a wee bit of breath of fresh air. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does. And I like to hear for everybody's thoughts and things on, you know, yeah. So no, I can where you're coming from there, but but there's so much going on, isn't there? And
there's so much been going on.
Yes.
So since Lionsgate,
oh my God! You know, have you seen the moon just now? Have you had time to have a look at the moon just now?
Yeah. Look at the moon. Yeah.
Because last night, I had a friend from Orkney here last night. Oh, it was lovely. Finally met some. It's nice when you do something over a monitor and all of a sudden you get to meet that person in person. Oh, it was great. Well, you could imagine, you know. And you ken me, I'm in my bed by 9 o'clock last night, near 11:30.
Aye. It's nearly
I know.
Night.
On a weekday, on a school day, as they say.
I know, the roles turned because I was absolutely shattered and I was in my bed before 9 o'clock last night.
Oh, well, there you go. There's the reason. I was doing your bit.
There you go.
But when she went away, I was looking at Ken. I was outside at the back with the dogs. And I'm going, oh, my God, that moon is so bright and it's not even full yet. I'm going, oh. And I'm standing there going, oh, something's what happened. But I don't care. Nothing's happened yet. But it's just a weird kind of day, but never mind.
Energetically, there's a lot going on energetically. I know it was calmed down a little bit over the weekend and stuff that we've just had. But I think it's beginning to ramp up because the full moon's coming sharp.
Well, this is it.
The 19th, the full moon is. So things are starting to come.
Well, that's the end of the week, you see.
Yeah.
The 19th is the end of the week.
Yeah, well, things are coming in energetically, I think. And from my perspective, okay, not everybody's going to agree with what I'm going to say. And throughout this whole video, right, I must reiterate that because I've become so aware of, I'll talk about it in the video, right? And I'll explain where I've been. and what's been happening to me energetically, but in no way, like, just observe what we're saying.
Right.
On anything that we say, this is just our perspective, okay? And I'm so aware of that now, that I don't want to be programming anyone. Does that make sense? And I don't.
Oh yeah, it does. Because the thing is, what we say doesn't resonate with everybody.
No.
You know, and that's life. We're all individual, and we've all got our own past. We've all got our own beliefs in that and how things work. So yeah.
So just take what we're saying and observe, because recently I've been observing a lot. Yeah, I've been observing a lot. I'll talk about that in a minute. So, since Lionsgate, we were talking about Lionsgate. So I think a lot of people that are working on themselves energetically have gone through some sort of integration, upgrades, activations, etc. Some were ready for it, some were not. I can maybe put my hand up to that. But they've all been things that have been needed. Especially through this energetic times, I'm going to say. I'm not going to say, like, energetically, the 3D world, the 5D world, completely different in energetic form. The 4D world, we're currently, I believe, anyway, we're in 4D energy. So there's a lot of shadow coming out at the moment, especially in the collective. There's a lot of shadow work and a lot of shadow side coming out.
Oh yeah,
having an effect on everybody energetically as well. And when I mean energetically, I mean about the 8 billion people that are on this planet, beautiful Mother Gaia, planet Earth, right? So there's so much going on at the moment. Where do I start? So Lionsgate, I feel, brought in this energy, and it was an energy that was amazingly abundant with light. And when things are brought into light, it obviously brings out the shadow side of things, doesn't it? Right?
Well, it's got to balance, you see.
Yeah, it's got to balance. So when you start doing this work, and I know we've mentioned this in videos previously, it's like peeling off layers of an onion, okay? So you may think you've got down to your very bottom layer and everything's rosy and all that stuff, and you've done all your inner work and you've worked on your heart chakra, your throat chakra, and all your chakras are in alignment and they're clear. And then something happens energetically and
it knocks you for six.
Yeah, it knocks you for six. And all you really have is trust and hope.
Well, trust is one of the things that I do believe in. I do believe you've got to trust within yourself. Because I think if you trust within yourself, a lot of better things can happen.
Yeah,
so that's putting your trust into somebody else.
Well, it's not just, I believe anyway, and what I've been going through these past few months, it's not just about trusting in yourself, but it's also trusting that what's happening to you energetically at that current moment in time is for your highest good, but it's also trust the universe, right? Now this, and
it also can be a learning thing as well. There's maybe something you've also to learn out of this time.
Well, yeah, I believe everything that happens to you energetically, regardless if it's good or bad, right? There's no good or bad in my perspective. Everything is always there for your highest timeline. But what I believe is that there is always lessons in whatever happens, okay? So it's standing from things, like I've always said, you're in your body physically, but consciously, I would say that you're out of body and it's observing the 3D physical and you're observing from an outer body. Does that make sense? So yeah, and then it integrates with each other. Now, this is the way I see it. This is the way I've been seeing it in my third eye, okay? So what's been going on with me energetically since the Lionsgate was, I would say quite a lot of my ego side was being brought up, right? So that was being brought up. And with that came my belief systems, my belief in myself, the belief in the universe, trusting in the universe, understanding the universe, understanding energy, understanding myself. All that started coming into play, but it was like a domino effect. So it didn't all come at once, because I think if it all came at once, I wouldn't have been able to cope with it.
Oh, no. You wouldn't be sitting there the day if all that came and hugged you, bang.
No.
You wouldn't have been able to cope.
No.
No,
I wouldn't have been able to cope. Now, with that, quite a lot of my belief system was basically, this is my belief system, and it just went non-existent. Became non-existent. So everything I'd learned through this spiritual journey just basically disappeared. So as you can imagine, that became really uncomfortable.
I could imagine. I think I'd be lost if mine's disappeared.
Very uncomfortable, right? So from everything that I've spoke about on Spiritual Time, from everything I've spoke about with Joanne on Awakening Stories, all that belief system crumbled, gone. And I was left with a shell. Right, so that's very hard to take into a concept. Does that make sense? And energetically,
listen, you went down, and I seen you for a person that knew where they were going, knew what they were wanting. To all of a sudden, it was like somebody just punched it out of you.
Yeah, it was like,
and you were left deflated.
Yeah, wasn't the fact that I was left deflated. I seeing it from that starting that timeline up until my current timeline, okay, it was something that I agreed to, okay, and it's something that I needed to go through energetically for me to be where I am currently energetically, right? Although I'm not at full speed, I would say where I am at half battery now was where I was when this all started. Does that make sense? Right. So when my battery's fully charged, I've integrated and I've gone up a level.
Right.
From what I've gone through. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Because what happened with myself energetically wasn't easy at all. It was really uncomfortable. And I found myself for a good 6 to 8 weeks rather unwell. Not seriously, but it was at a point where I couldn't do anything.
I know.
Couldn't do anything. I couldn't function. The energy that I had was the energy that was needed at that current time to look after my 2 girls and my family. Right? That was it. That's all I could do. I couldn't work. I couldn't focus on myself energetically. Although I was aware that I needed to obviously protect, but even then it felt like a challenge to do that. Okay. There's some things that I received birthday wise as gifts that I haven't even looked at yet energetically that I would have loved to be working with at that current moment in time. But because everything went boom and I was just left, it's like a robot, that's the best way to describe it. And somebody just turned an off button and I just went, shut down. And my consciousness went there and I was present in my 3D physical body and I was reliving the 3D world. Does that make sense? Although I wasn't participating in the 3D world, my body was. Does that make sense?
Yes. Oh, I understand what you're meaning. It was like somebody just took you apart. and left you in different zones. And
it was like,
and you had to work to get yourself put back in together again, or to be reborn.
Yeah. So
if that makes sense.
Yeah. And I'm trying. I want to talk it from an energetics perspective, because what happened is really quite personal. It's really quite personal. I don't feel that I'm quite ready to talk about it from a personal level. I can speak about it from an energetic level. But I do believe what happened on a personal level happened for me to help a lot of people understand a lot of things, not just what happened to me, but happened on an energetic level as well. Okay.
Yeah.
So, does that make sense? So now that I'm starting to charge up my batteries, I'm not at full power yet, right? But where I was, okay, and I've shut down. So I've started off where I was, and I've got a lot to charge up to, and I'm actually really quite excited to see where this goes. I have received the notion, because you know yourself, I did start writing my book.
Yes, you did.
And I kind of, when I was in the shower this morning, I just felt that I had to set a deadline for that and have it released by that deadline. But I feel that the book hasn't been done because I had to go through this in order to create the book.
Yes, I agree with Lika. I was like, when I wrote I wasn't intending writing a book, you know that.
Yeah.
And it was, I had to go through my life review to write the book.
Yeah.
If I was kind to show you where you're going, no, I understand where you're going with that.
Right, okay. So the book I was told to have ready for the 1st of April, right? So
okay, that's good. That's good.
The 1st of April next year. That's a release date, and I'm sticking to it.
Good girl. Good girl.
That's a release date, and I'm going to honour it, okay? Because I feel that that's going to be really important in helping people going forward. If people buy it, fantastic. People don't buy it, that's fine. I won't be putting a massive, won't be for massive amounts, because I'm not doing it for the material side of things. Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, I get what you mean. It's like me. I haven't sold books for ages, but if they sell, they sell. If they don't, they don't. It's in the universe, Ken, who needs it.
Yeah, exactly. So it'll reach the people that it needs to reach.
Exactly. That's exactly what I think about mine.
Yeah. So obviously shutting down, I had to put Galactic on the hold. I had to put my paintings on the hold. I had to put everything on hold. And as you can imagine, I worked myself up to that point, and for it just to go boom was a bit, whoa, what the hell's going on? And it was so uncomfortable. I can't even begin to tell you how uncomfortable it was. And it was scary. It was really, really scary. But what I learned at the time was I had to just allow it. And what I was doing was I was resisting it. Okay?
You were doing a bit of fighting there, wasn't you?
Yeah, I was doing a bit of fighting. And this is where the trust in the universe comes from, right? A lot of trust. So because I was resisting it, it kind of got worse. Does that make sense?
I
was resisting it, and because I wasn't allowing it, okay? So Laurie Ladd touched on this recently, okay? And she explained it beautifully, which helped me understand fully, although I understood it, but it helped me see it from another perspective. So our shadow side, our traumas, etc., that make us feel uncomfortable, that we don't want to face, that we don't want to look at. Whether you like it or not, at some point energetically, that is going to hit you smack bang in the face. And it will. It's going to hit you. I don't want to scare you or anything. All I can say is just be prepared energetically for that to happen, because it happened to myself. It might not happen to everyone, okay? But it had to happen to myself energetically for me to go up this level that I needed to go up. And it was a very deep-rooted fear that was presenting itself to me. And I thought I'd got over it. I thought I'd healed it. And I thought I was Archie. And I was like, way, I've got over it. Look at me, I'm a star. Ego, right? Now, the ego can come in many different forms. It's not a pride thing. It's not a look at me. It's not a, ain't I wonderful? Your ego is things that you, one-track mind, your belief system. You're not coming from your heart. You're not seeing it from a bigger perspective. That's what I believe, right? So this had hit me energetically, and I just was not looking at it. I just would not look at it. Okay, so the more I didn't look at it, the more ill I became.
Oh, you were really... yeah. You were at a stage that, Ken, it was getting...
Oh, yeah.
Where is this going? Where is this going? And I was praying like buggery and to help you on, because...
But the thing is, right?
You had to go through it yourself.
I had to go through it myself, okay? And
that's the hard bit for me, watching you do this.
Yeah, no. And it would have been hard for a lot of people to stand back and watch, like, what the hell's going on with Kerry? But if you understood it energetically, you would understand that this had to happen. Does that make sense? It had to happen, right? Regardless.
It's still hard to go through, though.
Oh, yeah. I wouldn't say... Oh, boy. From an energetic point, I would say it was the hardest thing through all my incarnations, through all space, time, and dimension that I've had to go through.
I know. And I wished, I came from my perspective, watching you having to go through all this, and we talked a lot, Ken, while you were out, and Ken, and where you Ken, what was going to happen with you, and everything, and thinking, Ken, how are you going to cope? How are you going to come through? It's like coming through a tunnel, isn't it? You don't know what's going to hit next.
No.
And to watch you doing, and not actually to be physically there with you, Ken, tried to hold your hand and doing what you had today was just, oh my God. You're a strong lady.
But I had to go through it.
You had to go through it.
And
it didn't matter. And you talked about it in so many different levels and with me and everything. But I think in heart to heart, you knew you just had to.
Yeah, but
at the end, you just thought, I can't do anymore. I've just got to go through with this. I've tried every avenue to go a different way, to make the situation different for you and your family. But you couldn't.
No. And I realised that although, like I'd spoke to you, I spoke to Joanne and other people around me, I wasn't fully allowing myself to be vulnerable.
No. But you never have done.
No.
Even before all this, you've never let yourself be vulnerable. You're the one, if everybody thinks, oh my God, Kerry's a toughie. She's just a toughie. And you had to take that side of yourself that you didn't like really shown very often.
No. Yeah, I didn't like showing that very often. But what I also had to realise was that it was okay to be vulnerable, that program inside of me had to be released. Now, I'm the sort of person that doesn't like to bother people, okay? I really ain't. And to an effect, after going through all that, I still don't like to bother people, okay? And it's not that I'm bothering them. But I'm very aware of other people's energy. I'm very aware of other people's time, etc. And I'll only reach out if I really, really need the help.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
And I will.
But then you know that's there.
Yeah, I know it's there.
Sometimes it's just knowing that helps there, that I know that person's going to be there when I need that person. I think it's worse if people keep coming to a person and saying, look, do it this way, do it this, did that. They're taking away your free
well, it's taking
power, your energy away from you, something that you've got to learn from, something that you've to deal with and start building up again.
Yeah, and I've noticed quite a lot of people do that, and I'm not saying that I'm innocent. Like, I have done that in the past where I was like, oh no, but it has to be done this way. And with me saying that, that's me taking away people's power. Okay?
That's right.
I've learned a lot throughout this time that I haven't been on spiritual time. It's been a very, very it's been a journey, let's put it that way, within itself, okay? But I agreed to this journey, and that's what I understood, and I've agreed to this journey. And this journey has touched me in so many different ways. With this journey, it brought a lot of trauma. I'm not going to lie. I was traumatized at one point. But I was able to understand that trauma, and I've been able to move on from that trauma. But with that trauma also uplifted a deep-rooted fear of mine that I had no choice but to face and trust with all my energetic being. I had to trust that everything would be fine. Does that make sense?
Oh, yes.
The universe had me, that the universe was protecting me, that the people all around me that loved me, that knew what was going on, had my back. I had to trust a lot. Okay? Stop crying.
Can't help it. Sorry.
It's okay. So with facing that trauma, I then had to go through grieving.
But you're still going through that.
Yeah, I'm still going through it, but I've got a different perspective on it now. It's not just grieving, it's honouring.
Yes. It's honouring that part of you.
Yeah, it's honouring that energy. It's honouring being part of that energy. It's accepting that energy in your whole being. Does that make sense?
It's special.
Yeah, it's special. And it's, I'm not just talking about people. I'm talking about energy on a whole. Energy on a whole. It's appreciating everything energetically, that everything is absolute energy, okay? It's not just this 3D physical world where everything's just materialistic. If you look beyond the materialistic side of things, from your crystal to people out there, it just looks like a crystal. On an energetic level, it's so much more than a crystal. And energetically, it can aid your energy to a higher level.
Oh, yeah. And the thing is, everything can, if you... I'm going to put it this way. The majority, I would say, people are materialistic. And I know that way with people like come for readings and everything. And then like they start talking to me or we get whatever we're doing. And then they turn around and they go out and they say, you can, there's more to this than what we've got, isn't there? And there is. And I think it's when you start awakening up to really what's round about you, what makes your life, what energies are around about you and creates you, it's then that people will take a step back and think, I need to change.
Yeah. It's not that you need to change, it's that you need to shift your perspective. Does that mean?
In a way, my son, my youngest son's kind of done that in the last few months as well. Mm-hmm. You know, he's doing things so different, and And to look at him now, his energy's changed.
Yeah, energy's changed. And sorry, I said you need to. Nobody needs to do anything. It's a
No,
soul choice.
it's your own free choice.
It's a soul choice. It's a soul choice.
And the universe will always give you that choice. The universe will always give you your free choice, because that's part of us. They can't take that free choice away.
No, they can't. But what, on an energetic level, what was shown to me in my third eye was that although I was here physically, my higher consciousness was in a womb. Does that make sense? So I was in a womb, I was being cradled by the universe, energy, and I was basically recharging my body. So that's the way I see it, okay? But I was living the 3D experience. I was living the fear. I was living the trauma. I was feeling it. I was going through it. And once I reached that point and accepted and trusted that energetically I was reborn, okay? So I've had to go through a couple of more lessons from that rebirth, okay? I'm still going through them, but I would say that I'm a lot stronger than I've ever been, that I am no longer scared of anything or anyone. Like the fear of what's going out there in the collective, the fear of World War III, the fear of the big C, the big J, the fear of all of this, gone. It's, for me energetically, it's gone. And I've noticed that people that I've learned from, teachers, and I've sat and listened to, etc., it's more an observation now than an actual understanding.
I know where you're coming from. I sit and I listen and I just watch.
Yeah.
And if when I can help somebody, no matter how small, how big, I know I've done my bit. And then it's up to them to take that energy, to take what it is that they need and get on with their life, whatever way their life's going to be taken.
Yeah, because remember, when you're watching someone, it's energy, right? You're exchanging energy. You're taking that person's energy on, okay? Mm-hmm. So it's more an observation than anything. When I'm watching, like, I was like, what is going on? I was questioning everything because I was like, why do I not feel connected to that person anymore? Why do I not feel connected to this anymore? What is going? And it was scary. Like, I was freaking out. I was like, what the hell's going on? Why am I going through? Why is this happening now? Blah, blah, blah. Like, I just had to let it go. I just had to trust and go through it and go through the motions and heal ancestral karma and heal my incarnation trauma. Like, I must have healed all my incarnations trauma with events that have gone on, like, beyond that. And I feel that I'm ready for anything now, energetically, okay? Physically, I'm working on it. I'm still going through a bit of an infection, so I have to heal that.
That's why I was said in the beginning, you've still got to be...
Yeah, because I tried to get going last week and I got floored with an infection. So that was basically the universe saying, not yet, lady. You've got to take a bit of time here and adjust to what's going on. So I had to, regardless, and I was able to look at things. And I've noticed that I've started going, like, okay, I feel comfortable watching that person and I feel comfortable because everything just went. Everything just went. It was just
it may take a wee bit longer yet, but every little step on that new path that you're on will give you more energy, will build you up. But don't do what you normally do.
No, I know. And
scoot to the metal and go like a bat like the hell.
No. And it's like...
I can't see you doing that anymore.
No, I'm not. And it's like I've got boundaries. So previously, And when I was going through my traumas and stuff, I would put my traumas to one side and I would allow other people's traumas to come in, and I would heal their traumas and help them on an energetic level. But I'd forget about myself on an energetic level.
And that's...
You know how many people that actually came to me, right, on an energetic level that I would have ran to and helped, but I actually went, not this time, sorry.
How many?
About 3 or 4. Now that's a lot for me. That's a lot for me. So I had to say no, but I couldn't divulge why I had to say no. I just had to say no, and that was that. And that was.
And I'll tell you now, it's hard for you to say no.
It's very.
That must have been a big. But then there's a lesson for you to start saying no and think about you.
It's not about saying no. It's about setting your boundaries.
Aye, but to set your boundaries, you have to say no, Kerry.
Yeah, we all energetically have to do that. So, you know, I've come a long way. I'm still going through this journey. It's an amazing journey. I probably will talk about it personally when I'm ready.
Yes.
Energetically, I feel that I'm ready. It will take me a wee bit of time to build up. Galactic will probably, because I've pulled Galactic online because I just don't have the capacity or the mentality at the moment to do custom paintings or energetic sessions. Like, I've got a couple of custom paintings that I am going to honour, that I feel that's
your starting point.
Yeah,
that one's
that's going to help me. And you know what? I'm excited to see how these ones are going to turn out, because I feel that I've been upgraded. Does that make sense?
So I tell you something, I'm excited to see what you're going to be doing.
Yeah, yeah, but it's all going to take...
See the difference.
Energetically, I'm not going to go thingy, because charging until I'm at full battery capacity, okay? So right now I'm half. So I'll just take baby steps until I'm at full, because I need to work on my energy again. I need to build up. But what I will say before we go, because we need to go shortly, but what I will say before we go is, energetically right now, there is a lot of shadow stuff coming out. And I feel that there's a lot of... Myself personally was psychically attacked in dream time last night, but I was aware of it and I was shielded. Does that make sense?
Yes.
And I was aware what was coming up. They never got to me. And when they tried to get to me, all I did was, in dream time, I said it twice: Christ did shield up, Christ did shield up. And I woke up and I was like, whoa, to the arm, and I was like, you're not getting me tonight. So energetically, I feel that in dream time, they're coming at you, they're representing themselves.
They're coming to talk, they're actually coming out to the woodwork.
What's really important is, it's hard to say observe in dream time, because how do you observe? I was lucid dreaming. I wasn't even aware I was lucid dreaming, but when I knew this was happening in dream time, and I knew how to get myself out of it in dream time, i.e. wake myself up. So what I will say is, be aware, because I feel that they're appearing as loved ones that you trust. But you'll know it's not a loved one that you can't.
You'll know.
You'll feel their energy. So you'll know that in dream time it's not a loved one. All I say is, put your only those beings which exist in the highest order of light to 4 corners each night before you go to sleep. Your Christed shield up 4 times. If you've done your unicorn shield activation with Joanne, unicorn shield activate 4 times. And then I call on the armor of God 4 times. And that's what I do every night before I go to sleep, without fail now.
Well, we've all got our routines to do at the end of the night, and whatever your routine is.
Whatever your routine is. So that's my routine. What works for you in protection wise, please do before you go to sleep. It's really important. And when you wake up in the morning, because I feel things energetically are going to start ramping up, cranking up. They'll calm down, they'll crank up higher, they'll calm down, they'll crank up higher. And I feel it's going to reach a boiling point.
Yeah, and as you said, we'll finish on this. The full moon's coming up the end of the week. There's 2 moons coming. I think this is the time we've got 2 moons coming. I could be wrong. Or something about 2 moons. Anyway, I'll have to look that up again. Anyway, so, Kerry, my darling, I'm so pleased we're back. Even if I've been bubbling again. It's so good to have you back.
It's good to be back. It's good, and it's nice to get my toes in the water again, because I've missed it. I have missed it. At the time, I couldn't be arsed doing it, let's be honest.
Well, you weren't able. You weren't able.
Hey, honesty is the best policy, and that's something I've learned as well. Being vulnerable, being fully honest with people and yourself. It's the best forward.
I believe in honesty is a top as well. So, darling, we'll say goodbye for now, because you need to rest up. That's a lot for you. That's a big, hard job you've done the day. Darling, I love you.
I love you too.
And for everybody out there, please subscribe. We're back.
We're back.
We're back. And don't forget to ring the bell.
No.
So, ring that bell. Ring that bell.
Ding dong,
ding dong, ding dong, ding. Bye, everyone.
Bye. See you later. Bye.
Bye. Bye.